Hello everybody! Welcome to my next video. I'm the Cotswolds girl. Thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to be having a little bit of fun, talking about a couple of things that are on the news recently that, well, affect me, but also sort of affect a lot of other people out there at the moment. So we're going to have a look at that. Going to also review some of my latest vinted purchases. So come on in, sit down, relax, let's have a chat, and welcome once again. G'day all. So welcome to today's little video. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do a video today actually, but I figured I will. Just because I've had a few new little vinted purchases come through that I'm super excited about. Again, for some reason, I've just formed this massive, and I'm not going to say the A word, but honestly, I can't help myself. This whole vinted thing has just, changed the ball game for me. So, as you know from some of my previous broadcasts, I'm absolutely a massive royalist. I'm a massive history geek. You can probably tell by my surroundings. I'm quite eclectic, and generally tend to have some cool things sort of knocking around within my sort of little studio / office, really, because this is sort of where I work as well. So you can sort of see behind me a bit of a collection of things. There's my library. And on top there, you can see I've got a picture of the late Queen. I've got some Japanese artwork. I have photos of my great-grandparents. I have a vintage Alice in Wonderland print, and all the rest of it. So anyway, just on that theme, vinted has absolutely been a game changer for me because, because I have found a load of vintage buys that I have purchased, and one of them is this that came today. It is the most beautiful 100-year-old tin from the Silver Jubilee of King George and Queen Mary. Look at that. It is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it to bits. And yeah, like it's in original condition. And, I'm assuming that it probably had chocolate or something inside it. I don't know. It's no longer in there anymore. But yeah, just wonder, where it came from and, who, like obviously, the seller online had it before me, but I just wonder where it's been. Like, think of the history. Think about the hands that has passed through. It blows your mind, and I absolutely love it. So that is going to join my other little tins that I have been sort of collecting, that I've gotten from a local antique shop as well. So that's going to be joining them up the top there. But also along with that as well, I've ended up collecting a load of the just like pamphlets and flyers in and around the reign of King George and Queen Mary. So, for example, it's May 1937. I have this was George the Sixth, but I have the decorations and a pamphlet for the coronation. Look at that. I'll show you down the bottom because you can sort of see. It says, May 1937? Yeah. So again, coming up on, we're sort of 9 years away. 9 years away? Maybe. From that being 100 years old. So that's 90 years old, this thing. And it's so delicate. It's a pamphlet of the decorations that were... Oh, here, I've got a little postcard. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I got a little bonus in there. Have a look. Hang on. It's It's a little printed postcard that was in there that I've just found. Look at that. Can you see that? It says on it down the bottom, coronation decorations at the Selfridges store in London. So it actually shows you the facade. Look at that. Unbelievable. Oh, that is unbelievable. Anyway, so and just all of, here we go. I've got the official souvenir program, which also came. Look. So I'm just absolutely tickled pink with that. This is a piece of living history. You know, it's just, how exciting. Anyway, so that's a couple of my little Vinted purchases that I have made. The other Vinted purchases that I have made are my current footwear, which I will show you, so bear with me. I now have a pair of these, which are Air Jordan 7s from back in about 92, 93. These came today and I absolutely love them. I've added them to my collection, but these are actually the ones that I had as a kid. The ones that I told you that used to fall off my feet. Yeah, and to be honest, sorry about the camera there. Hang on, 2 seconds. These are the ones when I was really bullied and I just wanted to be liked by the kids at school. These was something that gave me a massive amount of confidence, and I never, even to this day, I never realised how much that actually got to me, how much I changed myself to be able to fit in. And just getting these back on my feet, it's almost like, do you know what? I've come full circle now. You know, I'm back in the shoes where I wanted to feel proud and confident, and I can take on the world now. I can literally take on the world because that is so behind me. I'm starting again. And so, yeah, it's really exciting. Really love them. And I know that's it's just, some people will say, do you know what? It's just a pair of shoes. But do you know what? It's not just a pair of shoes. It's not. It's a lifetime of feeling less than and trying to put myself out there to, you know, to be liked and to be accepted and to, you know, do what people expect of you. And, you know, and now I'm just, you know, I'm me and I'm unashamedly me, and I'm going to do whatever makes me happy, and I'm not going to say sorry for it. I'm not going to apologise for it because, do you know what? It's my life. Oh, the other thing that I meant to show you is another Vinted purchase. These beautiful tarot cards, and they're the original, so 1900s, what's it, 1909 from. Just the beautiful original artwork in them. So have a look at that, for example. Aren't they beautiful? Isn't that just gorgeous? So, yeah, I absolutely love them. And I have a fascination with that really early century artwork and things. So anyway, so they came the other day, and I know nothing about reading tarot. I just have to, you know, do a thing. But look, I'm going to give it a crack. But yeah, aren't they just beautiful? So yeah. So anyway, that's just a little bit about what's going on. I watched I don't know how many of you guys watch the news on a regular basis. I don't try and watch it because it just depresses me. But I was watching today the debate that was going on in Westminster Hall about the indefinite leave to remain and how they want to change the rules and do it retrospectively from 5 years to 10 years. Now, this directly affects me because I'm on the 5-year ILR route here in the UK, and I've been gainfully employed for that whole time, paying taxes, paying more than what I really should. Every time I renew my visa, I have to pay over £1,000 for an NHS surcharge. I have to pay over £1,000 for, various other sort of surcharges and bits and pieces. It ends up, I think I've paid nearly £20,000 worth of visa fees and bits and pieces to actually remain here. And, I've just, I'm probably nearly 6 months into my second renewal. So I'm on the 5-year path. So I've got probably about a year and a half to go before I effectively qualify for ILR. And now, the government in their wisdom think that, perhaps they want to extend that for 10 years. And the problem is that, it's about the money. It's about the fact that, I've chosen to come and live here and I pay my taxes and I pay more than my fair share. I contribute to the economy. All of the stuff. And, they just want to kick the can down the road. Like, it's just disgraceful, whereas there's so many others that are just, kicking the system and being given handouts and all of this sort of stuff. I've never asked for a thing. I've always done things according to the letter of the law, and I feel like just constantly being penalised. How fair is that? And coming from Australia, we're a Commonwealth country, for goodness sake. Like, am I an undesirable compared to others? Like, I just don't understand. I really don't. And, it's so disheartening. And, for my husband and I, what happens if, and as I've discussed before, we want to start a family. If I don't have ILR for another 10 years, how does that affect my ability to start a family? I don't have the time to kick the can down the road 10 years. It'll mean that I might not have a family because of what they're doing. So, it just boils my blood, and it's unfair. It is so unfair. And, but who hears my voice? Who cares about, about me? A skilled Aussie who's come over, not only did I first of all come over on a tier 2 visa, and went through that way. I've now married my husband and, gone through the spousal visa route. It doesn't matter how, it just makes you feel like whatever you do, you're a second-class citizen. And it's, it's not okay. And I'm going to say it. It's just not okay. Like, my great-granddad was knighted by the Queen. Am I an undesirable? Am I someone that you don't want settling in this country? Anyway, that's just my rant. So I think that it appears as though there's some heated debate going on about the extension. I hope it doesn't go through. I think it's unfair. I think there would be massive uproar if it did happen. And, the problem is in these debates, they talk about people who have, who are on the tier 2s and, people have come over, the NHS workers and all of that sort of stuff, which is really, which is great. And, that needs representation. It needs a voice. But they don't ask people like me who have come over, on a tier 2, have now gotten married and are here and looking to start a family and are in a professional environment. My husband and I, we run our own business, but they're not asking people like us, like an Aussie or people from the Commonwealth, how it affects. And I've probably got 2 or 3 in my friendship group where we live up here in the Cotswolds that are in similar sort of situations, but where the silent voice of the unheard people that it affects. So all I say is, like, can we please just get, a representative voice out there to be heard on this stuff? Like, it's, it matters. But anyway, look, that's just what it is. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on all of this. Again, it just, it can't be fair to 100% of people 100% of the time, but I think that, there are measures to be had, and I think there are other voices to be heard on all of this. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you're really, really well. Please like and support my channel. I'm really trying to grow. I'm a normal person with normal views and, bringing some interesting things, hopefully, to the table. So I wish you a very happy day. I will hopefully speak to you again this week at some point. And keep spreading the happiness, keep spreading the love. Mwah.